Glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kelechi Ohiri. I'm the Director General and Chief Executive of the National Health Insurance Authority. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here, sir. So, sir, I'd like to ask, what initiative is your ministry implementing to create a more predictable, transparent, and investment-friendly business environment in Nigeria?
Well, thank you very much for the question. And again, kudos to NECA for convening this meeting, and it's quite auspicious. I think if just a couple of points. I think the first thing is that NHI is a unique organization because it's both a regulator of the health insurance industry, but it's also a provider of health insurance. So, as a regulator, our role is not just to come up with rules, regulations, and guidelines, but it's also to promote and shape an industry. And that industry is health insurance industry. So, what we do in that regard is to ensure that we have a level playing field, is to ensure that it's rules based, and to ensure that evidence drives what we're doing. When I took on this job about 2.5 to 3 years ago, one of the first things we did was to use evidence from actuarial review to revise the framework for tariffs and for reimbursements. We doubled capitation payments, which is how much we give to hospitals to make sure people are covered, as well as fee for service, what we pay them. And that means that a sector that at that time wanted to implode and people were threatening to pack up their practices and leave, through this regulatory intervention, a lot of calm, hospitals have been saved, and not only that, but people also have access to care. But beyond that, one of the things that is critical is that who are the major drivers of the private sector? It's people.
Yeah.
And if you look at some of their main concerns after food, it's healthcare. And so what we do and what we're saying is expand access to health insurance coverage for your staff, because in doing so, you're investing in them. I believe that Nigeria's greatest resource it is people. And therefore, the biggest gift or the biggest welfare you can give to your staff is health insurance coverage, because that means they are more productive. If they are ill, they don't have to sell all their property to pay for medical care, but they also have peace of mind knowing that if there is ever anything that comes up, that they are well covered. So in that, you're also helping other industries
Yeah.
by ensuring that they invest in human capital. So in summary, both in terms of providing insurance to enable businesses thrive, workers be productive, but also building the industry as a regulator to make sure we promote it and ensure that hospitals, health insurers are all remain viable and sustainable are really the ways I think they can contribute
Contribute.
towards sustainability.
All right. So one more question. So I wanted to ask that how important is platforms like this? I mean, the Nigeria Employers Summit. How important is it in fostering dialogue between the government and the private sector?
I think summits like this are not just good, but I think they are vital and they're imperative, because the great late Nigerian leader Mko Abiola said, "You cannot clap with one hand." For Nigeria to move forward, the public sector through the government must work collaboratively with the private sector to drive economic growth. There are those for the private sector, of course, we know that the fundamentals of any country's growth and development is private sector led. But we also know that there are instances where the market fails. For instance, the poor, the vulnerable, the most rural, where government interventions are important, but also in ensuring that regulations encourage innovation, encourage growth, not stifle it. So these platforms enable both parties to listen to each other, but also to speak to each other. And therefore, the product or the output is better because of that. So I'll encourage more NECA to have more of these platforms. And I'm looking forward to when, as the National Health Insurance Authority, I can convene people under NECA's platform to have that dialogue between us as NHIA with the organized
Private
private
sector,
sector
yeah.
on the issues about human capital and health insurance for all. That's how important I think this is.
All right. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.